Coming up on the Lakeside Loop, Lakeside students participate in a mock trial. Physical education class completes some challenging exercises. We say farewell to a Lakeside teacher.
And we take you behind the scenes of the production of the Lakeside Loop.
Those stories and more next. The Loop starts now. Hello and welcome to the Lakeside Loop. I'm Brock Schneider.
And I'm Jacob Greedle. Thanks for joining us.
Mr. During's government class has been undergoing a criminal investigation. A classmate is on trial, and they're going back and forth to see whether he is guilty or not.
So every year, every spring, every fall, at the end of each semester for the seniors, we do our mock trial. It's one of our 3 simulations in government where each group gets a chance to have a little bit of a taste of how the legal system in theory works and a little bit in practice, so that later on they can make those applications. So right now we're doing two different trials. Each section gets their own, and the witnesses and lawyers prepare ahead of time, and our jury, we try and keep them as clean as possible in terms of knowledge, and then they're going to come in and listen to a couple days worth of testimony, and they'll get a chance to discuss among themselves and review what the testimony was, and in the end they'll go through a verdict process just pretty much like you would in a normal court trial. So it's kind of fun for them. It's a unique way to end the semester, and like I said, it's one of the 3 simulations that we do, so it's a little lengthier, and we like to do it in the library. It gives a little different feel than the classroom, adds a little bit more realism to it. So.
Thank you, Judge During, and very creative to make your students learn. Freshman physical education is a required class for all freshmen. With the year coming to a close, Mrs. Crockless has decided to do something special for her class during these last few weeks.
What we did today was our spiderweb activity. It's our final activity for adventure education. We have been doing Fun Fridays every single Friday of this year, where we do teamwork type of activities. So we've been working on communication, we've been working on how to work together in a team, we've been working on how to develop a plan before we start, we've been working on how to trust one another, and then today was our final activity. So they had to go through this spiderweb without touching the ropes. They really had to work together as a team to trust one another, to support one another in doing this. And our whole goal by the end of this is that they can really see each other's unique talents, gifts, and abilities that God has given them, and then to celebrate those and to use them as a group to the fullest. And we just learn through adventure education that we are all unique children of God, and when we learn to celebrate that uniqueness, some really great things happen.
Thank you, Mrs. Crockless, and that looks very challenging.
Not only will the seniors be leaving us after this year, Mrs. Ewer will also be parting ways. Mrs. Ewer has been with us since 2018. She teaches freshman science, anatomy and physiology, and she is also the head coach of the girls' soccer team.
Initially when I got called here, I was kind of in shock, I guess. I didn't think I would be able to get a call that was kind of matching everything that I had gone to school for, and even including coaching one of my favorite sports that I played for basically my whole life. So really just kind of surprised that I was fit so perfectly into the position. Kind of all part of God's plan, I guess. It's hard to choose just one. I just love every part of my job, and it's really just hard to pick one single memory. This year has been really special just because we've been having some success on the soccer field, and we had a really awesome trip to the cadaver lab with my anatomy class this year. So I think because those are so fresh in my mind, those have been really special memories. It's really heartbreaking to leave because Lakeside is such a special place. I think I'll miss it every single day, and I think it'll be really sad to look back and miss seeing all of my students every day. But I feel really blessed that I had my 3 years here that I did have, and I'll just cherish the 3 years that I had here, basically for as long as I can remember it, and as long as I'm able to think back to these days, I will really think back on them fondly.
Thank you, Mrs. Ewer, for all your contributions to Lakeside. Best of luck in all of your future endeavors. Speaking of Mrs. Ewer and girls soccer, the girls varsity soccer team took first place in the CWC Crusaders Classic Tournament. Great job, ladies. Keep up the good work. Mr. Meske is always coming up with fun things for his classes to do. The newest of these activities was an applicator simulator. This taught his Woods 1 class the basics and challenges of operating an applicator.
It's basically just showing us the other sides of agriculture that we don't always get to see. We think it's just animals. We're seeing the mechanical part, the difficult part, all the preparation that goes into it, and very expensive things. It's hard work. Yeah, I drove the simulator. It was a little awkward because it's not all the way around, but it felt just like a lot like driving a tractor, because from my experience, it was fun. It was interesting. I can see myself doing what these guys are doing, going out to schools and other farms and showing people what it's like. Even driving the tractor myself looks like fun.
I know those kids had a lot of fun. Special thank you to FS Simulator for the experience. Brock and I have been doing the Lakeside Loop for 11 weeks. As our final story of the year, we take you behind the scenes of the production of the Lakeside Loop.
Well, it kind of started off as a little idea that me and Jacob Greedle had when we were taking Videography 1. And we talked to Mr. Hackbarth about it, and he decided that this was a good idea. It was a good opportunity to be telling other people about Lakeside. And we just decided that we would go through with it, and now we have the Lakeside Loop. So the Lakeside Loop has been going on for about 8 weeks now. Next week will be 9. Every week has been a unique stories, and they're all separate. But pretty much it's all about Lakeside, and hopefully there's a couple more weeks to go until school's done and we're in summer. So how we find stories for the Lakeside Loop is by Mr. Hackbarth usually bringing in a couple of requests that he gets from some students that he has during class. And other times we go to the office and ask them if anything's going on behind the scenes that not a lot of people would realize, such as the cleaning of the courtyard. But overall, a lot of people just come to us with different ideas, different suggestions. We take the ones that we think are the best and put them in the video. Having Chris Johnson from CBS, a professional, come and work with us every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's a huge privilege. He's taught us a ton of stuff, and he's giving us a lot of confidence and a lot of ideas about future in videography and media arts. And it's just a huge privilege to be working with him.
I'm getting that in there for sure.
So my role in the Lakeside Loop is I edit a lot of the projects that we do. Every week, Mr. Hackbarth, we'd pick out like 2 to 3 stories, and then we'd write scripts for them, and then I'd edit them. On Thursday and Friday, we'll shoot the videos and come up with the different stories. Thursday is a lot of that. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is when we edit them, and Wednesday is when we get the story out.
Coming up on the Lakeside Loop, highlights from the 2021 prom. And now, you're in the loop. Thank you for joining us.
It's been a pleasure to share some of the stories of Lakeside Lutheran High School.
God's blessings on your summer. Is it recording? Yep.
Oh, that is sick.
You want to say it? We should go like every other word.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
And
now,
we
leave
you
with
some
bloopers.
That was good. I don't know why that part was underlined. It wasn't in the main script, but I think we got it. Big energy. Big energy.
My mom's talking to me.
3, 2.
Coming up on the Lakeside Loop. And why are students carrying babies around campus? The loop starts now. Yeah, well, it said babies. So I was kind of thrown. I was kind of thrown for a loop there. I was like, huh?
Why are babies carrying babies?
Okay, let's start over.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Kiwi, applesauce. Whole end block. I was like,
Broccoli in him like
So
this.
I was like,
it was
thanks for joining us.
Oh my gosh, I'm looking at myself.
Oh, it's recording.
Good.
The grass is getting greener outside, and the small engines class is just in time. They've been spending their class period. I was on a roll there and I messed up.
While students from other schools were sitting at their desks or at home doing online school, Lakeside students were traveling all over the country. Let's take a look at some of the spring break.
Nice.
It's okay.
Real nice.
I'm not gonna cry.
And now, you're in the loop. I'm Brock Schneider.
And I'm Jacob Riedel. Thanks for joining us.
Nailed it!